What's This is Devin White, linebacker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You're listening to the LCC Network. Go Bucks.
Hey everyone, welcome to Little Critter Bowl week. It is officially here. I don't know how we survived 2020 up till now. It is officially kind of like the holiday season. We're like right just a couple days from it as we're recording on December 22nd. And with me today, I have got the what's the word I'm looking for here? My co-commissioner Jordan on the show with me, just the two of us again. What's going on, man? Welcome back.
What's up? Just the two of us.
That's right. Bringing it home. Two guys who were in the same side of the bracket. I beat you, and then I lose to Cameron, and here we are for Little Critter Bowl 11.
Little Critter Bowl week.
Get him. No, but it's as for Cameron and Daquan, this is them right now. And they're feeling it. I know Cameron was excited. I'm sure Daquan was. I haven't really had a chance to talk to him or anything, but I don't know. I would imagine, like, how are you not excited? You get a chance to redeem yourself,
I know they're both pumped up. I mean, what are the odds of the rematch taking place a whole year later? I know both of them are pumped. I mentioned it on the show yesterday. I know both of them wanted back in the championship, and I know both of them wanted to play each other again.
Yeah.
So here we are.
I know. And for those wondering, how does it feel to lose to your brother again in the semifinals and watch him go all the way? This is a live reaction of me Monday night.
Did you lose? You shut your mouth! Every year I set this league up. Every year, and I never win. This was the year! Bullshit! I babysit you morons. I babysit you. Oh, help me out. Do this. Move that guy around. Oh, I don't know how to set a lineup. You Taco. And Ruxin. Stupid Wiseman. You stupid eggs. My eggs. Stupid.
Daddy, stop! Geggle's watching you. He's gonna report to Santa.
Look me in the eye, Ellie. There is no Gaggle. And there's no Santa Claus. And there's no Christmas. There's no God. There's no Easter Bunny.
That was me. I wouldn't say I was furious because I don't know. Like, I guess maybe this is how it feels to be an abusive relationship where you constantly get beat and you just become numb to it. After a while, just keep taking the beatings.
It sucks.
It does suck. I mean, Jordan, you've been there once, but I mean, you've lost plenty of times in the playoffs, obviously, over the years. So.
Yeah, especially when you pour all the time in it.
Yeah.
Like yourself, like,
yeah.
I mean, not even just fantasy wise, like, pour just so many like setup hours and stuff into it.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
But you never get to be the bride,
No, I've always said this though. Like, I don't play fantasy football to win championships. I've never been that type of person, and I know most people are that way. Of course, they want to win, and don't get me wrong, it'd be nice to, but like, I do it more for the experience, I guess. I'm here for the ride, basically. And don't get me wrong, I feel pretty confident in my abilities and stuff, and I feel like, I am a championship worthy like fantasy GM, but at the same time, like, honestly, I like just running the league, doing the podcast, all the crazy rules that I come up with. I feel like each season, I enjoy that stuff more than actually competing, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, you're definitely a process guy. Like, just enjoy the process. But I mean, it's like anything you do. It's the same reason you like playing franchise mode in Madden or something.
Exactly.
But,
yeah. Perfect example.
Yeah, but unfortunately, neither of us are there. So I guess we can get talking about these conference champions and their championship matchup.
Let's do it. Do you want to briefly go over, like, just list out the teams that have won each season of Little Critter Bowl up till now?
Yeah, I mean, we only got 10, less than 10 if you count repeats, but
yeah.
But yeah,
or as Jade would say, or as the former legend would say, two-peats. So.
Yeah. The only legend to ever two-peat in the league.
That's right. At least he thought he did. But no, Little Critter Bowl champions 2010. It was Mr. 300. At the time, his team name was I'm thinking Arby's because he had two stud running backs, and I don't know, maybe he was an Arby's fan too. Next year, 2011, Masturbate and Tackle won. Both of these teams, by the way, beat the Spurs as Cameron in the Little Critter Bowl. And for the longest time, his nickname was Mr. Buffalo because of that.
Yeah.
And then fast forward to 2012, the Terrible Towels. Jade got his first, beat Eastside Brawlers. In 2013, Eastside Brawlers beat Terrible Towels. And then 2014, Terrible Towels beat Jordan, Afternoon Delights.
Boo.
Yeah. I know, dude, we thought for sure you were going to win that game, me and you, and Daquan. I remember us all hanging out before Christmas break at Lander, and we were like, dude, I don't see how you lose this to Jade.
Bro, that was the shittiest performance in fantasy football a team of mine has ever had. Like, I didn't have a single player that did not shit the bed. Like,
and fast forward to 2015 and 2016, the Crazy Legs, Matt, became the first team ever to win back-to-back. And then 2017, 2018, the Steel Curtain did it. And then fast forward to 2019, the Spurs finally got their first Little Critter Bowl win. And I want to say their third appearance, too, on top of that. So,
and here he is trying to repeat. Like, what are the odds we have 3 repeat champions in a row?
That's pretty wild to think about. I mean, you hear about dynasties per decade. Well, like in the LCC, it's like per 2 to 3 years. You know,
Yeah. Like even if Cameron does it, like good for Cameron. It's just gonna be like wild. Like, did we just 2-2-2?
Yeah, it's kind of just becoming customary at this point. Like you win one, you just assume you'll win the next. You know,
whoever wins it next year, buckle up.
Buckle up. That's right. I don't know though. It's going to be interesting because the fact, like you said, a chance to repeat, but also this would be the first. If Daquan wins, this would be the first time ever that we had a rematch of a Little Critter Bowl game back-to-back years, and then the other team who lost the first time won the second time. The last time that happened, like I said earlier, 2012 and 2013. 2012 Terrible Towels won. 2013 Eastside Brawlers won. So I don't know. We've seen it happen before, but we've also seen teams win back-to-back before. So neither's going to be new. But it's going to be interesting because these two teams, for those that don't know, Daquan last season actually forgot to set his lineup. I don't know if he forgot or what happened, but he didn't set it. And it cost him the Little Critter Bowl against Cameron. Now, obviously, Jordan and I talked about this before starting the show, but I feel like this is an opportunity for both of these guys to make a statement. For Daquan, it's that I am capable of winning a championship, and I learned from my mistake last year. For Cameron, it's that last year wasn't just a fluke. Here I am again, and there's a reason why I'm a Hall of Fame owner in the league. I think there's a lot on both sides, and obviously Cameron's the type of person, he doesn't let you forget when he beats you, whether it's Madden, whether it's fantasy football, whether it's anything in life, he doesn't let you forget. So it's, I don't know. I mean, these guys won it for sure.
Cameron's definitely a post-game shit talker.
He is the Terrell Owens, Ocho Cinco, Randy Moss, Steve Smith, whatever you want to consider him as, the trash talker of the league. You know, like, I think, and honestly, he's probably like that in other leagues too, I would imagine.
It increases as he gets confident in his win that week, though.
Oh, for sure.
He's kind of laid back about it as the week starts, but if he has a player to like go off, he'll start letting you know that he's feeling more confident. Which I get a kick out of every week on GroupMe. Like some people might get hot or irritated, I don't know, but like I find myself reading some of those things and just laughing.
I think for some of the people that get hot are definitely the people that don't know each other in real life.
Yeah.
So it's hard for them to picture like a person in real life and like gauge, are they being serious right now or like what's going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, anyways, I mean that's like a whole side note. But do you want to break down the game a little bit, Jordan? Or
Yeah. It's the Critter Bowl. Let's
little
break her
critter
down.
ball. By the way, guys, I'm gonna be playing some background music while we do this to make it more epic. So here we go. Alrighty. So let's start off here. Before we dive into which player is better than which player, let's look at something else. Let's go to our Game Center and their history page real quick. Both of these two teams, the Spurs and Primetime Players, we talked about the Little Critter Bowl history there. Well, this is the 12th time that they have played ever, including postseason and regular season. Daquan has only won once, and the first time was week 1 of 2020 when he got his revenge for the Little Critter Bowl last season. He won 220 to 176 with Little Critter Bowl. Cameron won 276 to 259, and Cameron doesn't only own the series, but he's outscored him in head-to-head by over 400 fantasy points. That's a lot, all right? That is a lot of points over the number of years. And the biggest blowout was 2012 in Week 10. Cameron won 114 to 0. I'm guessing Daquan didn't set his lineup, obviously.
Yeah, I'm going to take something happen right there.
But no, I mean, Cameron's 8-game winning streak. Daquan's in a 4-game winning streak. They're coming in hot. Jordan, you and I talked about it. Like, they're coming in at the best point of the season for him, full throttle. It's a clash of titans, if you will. And this is going to be hard to kind of peel the onion and really look at the layers and who do we think is going to win. Anything you want to add, though, before we look at the matchups?
No, I'm excited about it. I mean, two players that know each other, want to beat each other. Let's dive into it.
Let's do it. All right. So, at quarterback, we've got Big Ben versus Aaron Rodgers. Now, the projections have Aaron Rodgers outscoring him by 10, 40 to 30. Big Ben is going up against the Indianapolis Colts in Pittsburgh at 1 o'clock. Aaron Rodgers is going against Tennessee Sunday night in Green Bay. Who do you like more there?
I think it's hard not to just automatically like Rodgers. You know, it's Aaron Rodgers. Ben Roethlisberger's been struggling, like especially through it. Daquan, his lineup has been absolutely been going off, and I feel like it's been kind of hindered by Ben the last couple weeks. I mean, at halftime last week, he had -5 points after who had 5 for whoever he was playing at quarterback.
Sorry, what'd
Who
you
played
say?
last week against Daquan? It was BP.
Who did he play
Or
against?
that was the week before.
Did you ask who he's playing against?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the wrong screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was talking about when the Eagles quarterback had 5 points, or not the Eagles, Carr.
Right.
There it is. I finally got it. For a while, I thought Ben Roethlisberger was going to cost him that game, just having negative points. But luckily, the rest of his team went off, specifically T.J. Watt, or he'd be awfully upset at Roethlisberger sitting at home right now. But yeah, so I think it's just hard not to go Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I agree. I think Aaron Rodgers is a clear-cut guy. I mean, he's 10th in quarterback scoring in terms of average per week. He's averaging 42. Big Ben is number 24. He's averaging 32 points, but he has been on the struggle bus for a while. The last time he cracked 30 was in week 13. He got 38. He had 22 in week 14, 15 last week, like you said, Jordan. That is scary for me looking at Big Ben. But with that said, if you are Daquan, do you go out and take a chance and get a free agent? Because you're not going to keep Big Ben next season. And there's some guys who have some favorable matchups, I feel like, in free agency right now.
Yeah, he could definitely do that. I know I've been talking to him. I will say I highly doubt that this will be his starting lineup come Sunday, just from the conversations we've had. But I'm not gonna call him out on anything he has planned. So we'll just all have to see who he decides to go with if he does replace Ben, or he's gonna. Our next matchup is running back, and he may have to go and replace James Robinson at the same time. So
Yeah. For
I
me,
don't think this is gonna be his final roster, but just for now, I'm gonna say Aaron.
this sounds crazy, but I literally almost considered doing this. And no, I didn't actually consider it. But I was like, I wonder if I was desperate, would I do this? Getting Jalen Hurts right now. You're talking about a guy, who, dynasty-wise, might be one of the best moves he could possibly make. And we know Big Ben obviously isn't the long-term answer for Pittsburgh or Daquan for that matter. I don't know. I might take a chance here on something like that. But anyways, we're both giving the edge to Cameron at the quarterback position. Let's move to running back. We've got Derrick Henry going against Green Bay at Sunday night. And James Robinson, like we had talked about with the Bears. But he's dealing with an ankle injury at the moment, which is kind of worrisome.
Yeah, and it's definitely worrisome. I think if he plays, he can kind of keep pace. But even if he was 100% healthy, I'm taking Derrick Henry over almost every back in the league right now.
For sure.
And Packers don't have a bad defense, but if they're weak somewhere, it's right up the middle. And we all know that's where Derrick Henry's headed. So
Derrick Henry is like borderline the size of like some defensive ends in the league. I mean, if that tells you how big this man is,
man.
like he's huge. So yeah, he's gonna. I don't want to say he's gonna gash Green Bay. It's not as good of a matchup as it was last week, where he got 45, but it still is a favorable matchup to some degree. I think he's.
I like it, man.
Or more.
I've just watched a few Green Bay games, and they just seem kind of weak right up that middle, especially in the second level. They're not quite sure who's going to play Mike in the future. So I really like his matchup there, even though it doesn't look the best. I just know specifically they're weak where Tennessee's going to be attacking. So
yeah, I agree. So we're both going Derrick Henry there. Now here's, I think, probably the first place where we go, Daquan. It's DeAndre Hopkins, 49ers, versus Deontay Johnson playing against the Colts. To me, that's a no-brainer. It's got to be DeAndre.
Yeah, about like the running back matchup. Even if Deontay was going full strength or whatever, there's not too many receivers I'm going to pick over DeAndre Hopkins. So I'm definitely going with Hop. He's hot right now. They're throwing a lot. I think they want him to get him the stats to make him, I don't want to say happy, but they're making him a point to prove that like Houston wasn't doing him right. But so I'm going to go DeAndre Hopkins. I do think Deontay struggled in some weeks, but I think Deontay will be able to kind of keep pace. Just, I think I said this off pod, but just by sheer targets, like I feel like Deontay Johnson eats targets up from Roethlisberger. So, I mean, you never know. He takes a few of those and he's right in it, but I'll definitely go Hopkins.
Yeah, I just think he's a safer pick. I mean, Deontay did great considering how poor I feel like Pittsburgh did offensively. He had 8 receptions, 13 targets. I mean, they were definitely looking at Deontay.
The targets are there, man, but unfortunately, the targets are always there for Hopkins too, and he actually maximizes it most of the time.
The Colts are no joke of a defense. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna be getting after Big Ben.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I agree with that.
Big Ben's
I seriously like the Colts for the real NFL playoffs. I'm high on the Colts in that defense. I
mean, honestly, you could look at Indianapolis. Like, let's say you're in your standard fantasy league where you're starting defensive special teams. That would be a good week to start them if you're in that type of league and you have the chance to play them. Because I feel like they're going to be very good against Pittsburgh. So we'll move on. So we're going Hopkins there unanimously. We got T.J. Watt for Daquan playing against the Colts. And Quinnen Williams going against the Browns. And Williams is coming off 3 straight 26-point games, which is crazy. He scored that exact same amount in all 3 weeks. Going against Cleveland now which I feel like is relatively favorable. I think he could still have a good game against them. TJ Watt, I just feel like, does he ever have a bad matchup? Like, I mean, I know he's had some bad weeks, but good lord, he's had some really good weeks at times too.
Yeah, he's just that elite of a player. I'm gonna go TJ just because it's TJ and he's more likely to run into those splash plays. And he runs into them a lot, whether it's multiple sacks or turnovers. You always have your pass deflections. Um, and I think Williams will be decent. And like you said, it's a decent matchup, but I only think it's a decent matchup for specifically like a few tackles. Like Cleveland's offensive line isn't terrible anymore. I guess he could sack Baker, but Baker's pretty mobile. And other than that, I see Cleveland pounding those two running backs. So definitely the tackles could be there. I just feel like his potential for the splash play will be much more limited compared to what the Colts are going to be running.
Yeah.
So that's where my kind of logic comes in there. So I'll go TJ.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like this is probably one of the more even matchups between all their players to some degree because TJ could have
I we could say that, but then on the other hand, TJ could easily turn around and outscore him by 40 points.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because he has that kind of potential. I might go TJ too. I'll go TJ in that. So right now it's 2 versus 2 in terms of.
And Quinn can prove me totally wrong and show me a scoop and score or
Yeah,
get an
exactly. It's
interception of his own. But
a defensive
we'll
line. It's so hard to predict that. Like.
yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm just trying to say I'm not trying to say Quentin Williams is a bad player or anything like
Oh
that.
no, he's good for sure. Yeah.
Splash factor for me.
Yeah, and Quentin Williams is like in any IDP format. Quentin Williams is a dynasty play guy that you should definitely look at if he's available in another league.
Yeah, I'm a fan of his. And if no one's seen the video of him excusing himself after sneezing, that's a great video to watch.
I wish I could make that. I might have to make that into a sound drop or something.
Oh, we could get that.
Yeah. So our next matchup is at linebacker, Jeremy Chin, who it's just remarkable how good he is because he could have actually been a safety for Daquan if he wanted him to. He's going against the football team, which I'm still getting used to saying that. Whereas Cameron's got Joe Sherbert playing against the Bears. Joe is a guy that's been pretty bulletproof for the past, I don't know, maybe like 2 months or so, I want to say. About 8 weeks, maybe a little less. I mean, he has some games where he's upper 20s, but for the most part, he's getting, upper 30s, low 40s. And the Bears, though, is just a matchup that I feel like we'll see because you just never know if the Bears are going to turn the ball over. Is it just going to be super vanilla where it's incomplete pass or,
A lot of it is what Mitchell Trubisky shows up.
Yeah, exactly. Which Mitch Trubisky do you get this week,
Yeah.
And we know Ron. Ron likes to run the football. And Washington's been pretty decent at it at times. I feel like Jeremy Chin, I just feel like our defense is going to get gashed. Ron knows our defense. I know it's very different from when he was there, but I feel like Ron's got something special for Carolina this Sunday. This Sunday.
Yeah, I'm not saying we won't get gashed, but on the other hand, too, I do think Jeremy Chin eats.
Yes.
Just like being the first one in the football almost every time.
And the thing is, picture this for a moment. He had 22 last week against Green Bay. All right, well, Green Bay's not really a run-first offense, in my opinion, still. He had 5 tackles, 1 assist. Now, go back to a game like Denver. Denver is a very vanilla offense, and usually with those kind of offenses, I'm not super thrilled about an IDP player. But he had 50 points, 7 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 assist, a forced fumble, and a sack. And I know that's the extreme Jeremy Chin, but Jeremy Chin, I don't know. He's going to be pretty busy. I could easily see him having a 7 tackle game.
Yeah, I think he's going to be doing really well, and a major just like I said for Schobert, depends what Trubisky shows up. Right now, I mean, last week he was matching brains with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I understand why he was a little one step behind type of thing, but I mean, this week there's a good chance Alex Smith doesn't play again, so that is a downgrade for their offense.
Yeah.
Wayne Haskins was caught going to the strip club after the game Sunday, and it's highly likely that he doesn't get to play. So a pretty funny scenario, especially for us Panther fans, is getting our rematch with Ron Rivera and the Washington football team, and their starting quarterback will be Taylor Heineke.
Ooh.
So I do feel like if Heineke is the matchup there,
Well, Heine might.
Chin has a great shot at a turnover.
Yeah, I think him and Schobert both have a shot at a turnover. I mean, Schobert hasn't gone below double-digit tackles. Get this, since week 12, since the regular season, our regular season at least. I mean, he's been eating. I mean, you want to talk about? He's coming off like a 12-stop game against Baltimore, and Baltimore
Definitely.
isn't your traditional rushing offense like, let's say, Minnesota where he got 66. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
And that's just me talking about Chin, just because I have a lot more inside knowledge being a Panther fan. But don't get me wrong, like I like Schobert, and I like Schobert's matchup, and probably more than you do.
Yeah, you probably do.
I feel
Yeah.
like Chicago's gotten the run going, probably the last 3 weeks, like better than they have the whole season. So I feel like that gives tackle opportunities, having to track down David Montgomery. Montgomery's going to pass catch. He's going to need tackles off of that. And I mean, Trubisky, like we said, which Trubisky shows up, Trubisky's been playing well. So me personally, I feel he's due for at least one stupid turnover this game. And so who's to say Joe's not the one fucking running another touchdown in? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll say this. They both, Daquan and Cameron, need their linebackers to go off because the other one's going to go off. More than likely, they're going to at least get, 30-something points. The other one's got to keep pace. If they don't keep pace, that might be it. I mean, granted, there's other scenarios that could play out in other positions and so forth, but I'm telling you, that's going to cost someone the game. If one of these linebackers, has a stinker during Little Critter Bowl weekend, that could be it for either team. So they both need them to go good because ultimately they're probably going to cancel each other out, or it's going to be very close, like maybe 5-point difference between both linebackers. For me though, I'm going to go Jeremy Chin. Sure, you can call me a homer, but at the same time, he's got old Heine at quarterback, and Washington's going to be forced to run the ball. I think Jeremy Chin's going to have a very good game.
Yeah, and Heineke's not for sure, but I like his matchup way more if that happens.
Yeah.
But you can go ahead and call us two homers because I'm going to take Jeremy Chin as well. And I could be surprised, but like you said, I think this matchup will be between anywhere from 5 to 10 points spread.
Yeah. So safety is at the moment, and they could switch their lineups. Kevin Byard for Daquan going against Green Bay Sunday night, and then Adrian Amos playing against Tennessee for Cameron. So it's interesting. Adrian Amos is going against Cameron's own running back, which, obviously Adrian could be very busy in the box there with Derrick Henry running the football against them. And then I feel like Kevin Byard on the other side, he's going to be pretty busy too with how explosive Green Bay's offense is.
Yeah, I agree with both of those. They're both good matchups for safeties for way different reasons. Amos is basically going to be playing more box for tackles and things, which that works. Even the Titans take their deep shots, but safeties get to eat up a lot of crossers and stuff like that too. And then Kevin Byard gets to play just a spread, just Aaron Rodgers going where he thinks the ball needs to go. Just for this, man, I hate to do it because I really like Byard,
I'm going Amos too, if that's where
I
you're
think I'm
going.
going to slightly lead Amos.
I am too. Amos came 50 points against Carolina, 36 against Detroit. Tennessee's offense, I hate to say it, is better than Carolina's offense overall. And we already said it. Amos is going to be in the box. He's going to be, in their face and, wind up with a good bit of tackles, like a good at least 6, if not more tackles, I feel like, against Tennessee. I'm going to go Amos too, not by a lot, but I'm definitely going Amos in that matchup.
Yeah.
Last matchup, the battle of the other DBs for Daquan is Kari Willis from Indianapolis. He's going against Pittsburgh, and then Malcolm Butler for Cameron's going against Green Bay. That Green Bay game's really probably decide this one, honestly, but
Yeah.
Malcolm Butler has not scored under 38 points since week 12. For Kari Willis, on the other hand, he's coming off 2 back-to-back 50-plus games, honestly.
Kari Willis has been an animal lately, and let me go ahead and say, like I said, I like the Colts for the playoffs in the real NFL. Like, it's because of that Colts defense, and like a lot of people talk about their front seven, but they have a couple absolute animals in that secondary, and he is absolutely one of them. Like, I feel like I'm watching a varsity high school team play like the freshmen coming up or something. Like, it's not like they just physically dominate like every receiver, like every play. It's just as soon as you think a ball is like getting through or something, some guy just makes like an incredible play. Even if it's just like a knockdown, like I'm just like, where are these Colt secondary guys coming from? So I'm really high on them in general, and I'm going with Kari, just because how they've been playing as a unit, and I don't see it slowing up. I think Butler can do well. I just don't like it as much against Aaron Rodgers, and I know he's listed as corner, but Malcolm Butler does a little more than corner. But if he is tasked with like say stopping what's his name, Adams, if he has to use his skills to kind of clamp on Adams, then I'm gonna have to go Kari Willis even more, thinking Butler might just have to stick to one player.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, Kari's been good at racking up tackles. He doesn't have a lot of picks this season. And I called it 2 weeks ago. I said Kari Willis is going to struggle against Jacksonville, and he actually dipped in points. He still got over 30, but it was an interception that saved him. He had 3 tackles that entire game. You think about that, that's like a 15-point game for Malcolm Butler. That could have cost Cameron that playoff matchup if he didn't get that pick. So, I don't know. I mean, maybe it wouldn't have cost him because I'm not looking at the score right now to see what that would have been, but still. Malcolm Butler, I think, it's going to be interesting. He's either going to get a lot of tackles covering Adams, or Green Bay is going to be running the football. Because Aaron Rodgers doesn't throw many picks, especially this season.
I think they're going to try to run the ball, and they'll target Adams, of course, but Rodgers is also not dumb enough to avoid the best player in secondary.
Right. Well,
it's kind of, I guess, debated with Byard, but coverage-wise.
So you're going Kari Willis.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like I had to go Kari too. Oh,
especially, I just don't like anything happen. It's fantasy. Just Kari's been going on and it's just so happens I've watched probably the last 3 Indianapolis games, so I've really put some time into watching him and his teammates. But just the way Pittsburgh's sputtering so badly on offense,
let me ask you this: is it sputtering so bad that could derail Kari Willis?
No, I feel like Pittsburgh still moves the ball and things like that. They have an extreme hard time at finishing drives, and they can't run the football.
Yeah. So
I feel like he'll eat up tackles, and Ben he's a Hall of Famer, but Ben has looked like shit. So I just like his chances of making a huge play in that game. And the Colts are still fighting heavily for things. So are the Steelers. So I think they're both going to be going right at each other, and I just think he's going to make a few more plays. And Butler can have his splash, but like I said, with him being a corner, it's just going to take a lot more with like a pick, like you said, if he doesn't eat up tackles.
Yeah. So, and by the way, I'm going to go Kari Willis too. I'm going to go Kari. I'll pick Kari. That was a little tough for me. I feel like it could go either way with that one. But with all that said, Jordan, who are you taking in Little Critter Bowl 11?
Well, I know like I said, I'm pretty confident that this isn't going to be Daquan's finished product. So just looking at the matchups, I did, what is that? 3 towards Cameron and 4 towards Daquan.
Yeah.
So, and so I'm gonna lean Daquan here. I'm worried about James Robinson not playing, but I do love his defensive matchups this week, and yeah, I'm gonna wait to see what he does on the waiver, and yeah, I'm gonna pick the primetime players to be Little Career Bowl champs.
For me, I do like Daquan's defense more than Cameron's this week, but I don't like it enough to where Cameron's other players can't make up ground, if that makes any sense at all. Like, the defensive matchups that I like for Daquan, they're like a slight edge, whereas some of Cameron's offensive matchups are like head over heels better than Daquan. Like, even if Daquan makes changes to his lineup, his running back situation could be bleak either way. Either way you look at it, you know what I mean?
About that running back spot.
Yeah.
A lot.
And then at the same time, and this is a worst case scenario for Daquan, James Robinson is in Jacksonville's starting lineup, but they barely use him, or they can't do anything with him because his ankle is bothering him that bad.
Yeah.
I
think if it's a scenario like that, he might not play him, just learning from last year.
Yeah. And then on top of that, Big Ben, he might make changes to his quarterback situation. I feel like he probably will. I don't know. I'm going to go Cameron in this, actually, for Little Critter Bowl 11, because, like I said, the defensive matchups for Daquan are really good, but they're not head over heels better to make up for the ground that Derrick Henry versus whatever running back Daquan has can make up ground. And I feel like Aaron Rodgers more than likely will outscore whatever quarterback Daquan puts in, unless he goes the Hurts route. I'm just saying, Jalen Hurts, I feel like, is a valid option against Dallas this week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's our Little Critter Bowl show, guys. This is the last podcast until 2021. We're taking a break after this. I'm going to be out of town anyways. Honestly, I'm going to actually be in South Carolina for about the next 10 days or so. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see what happens, but I'm also looking forward to 2021. I actually enjoy the fantasy podcast in the off season sometimes more than the ones in the regular season, if that makes any sense, because there's a lot more to talk about. It's not just breaking down games. It's looking at, different data points and looking at different, off-season events going on and stuff. So anyways, a lot to look forward to next season, and we'll catch y'all next year. Best of luck to everyone. We'll see y'all later.
Good luck, Daquan and Cameron. Whether who wins, congratulations, guys.
Yeah, congrats.